Hello, everybody. I'm Cindra. Oh, I'm Cindra Kirscher. I am the program coordinator with the Livestock Conservancy, and we are a nonprofit conservation organization headquartered in North Carolina, central North Carolina. But we work throughout the country, and our mission is to save endangered breeds of livestock and poultry. And we have 23 breeds of sheep on what we call our conservation priority list, which is the list of breeds of, actually we work with 11 species. So we have cattle, donkeys, horses, sheep, goats, hogs, turkeys, poultry, geese, ducks, and chickens. So there's your 11 species that we work with. And all of those species are somehow, those breeds are somehow endangered, either here in the US, if they are a US breed, or in their home country. A lot of those breeds are actually, especially some of the sheep breeds, are actually more plentiful here in the US than they are back in the UK or Africa, other countries where they originally came from. So I am so grateful to be here today talking to you about Shave 'em to Save 'em, one of my favorite things. This is a program that the Livestock Conservancy started 3 years ago. It's been in our thought process probably for about 5 or 6 years. And we started thinking, well, what can we do? You know, these farmers raising these endangered breeds, farmers, I don't know if any of you are farmers or if you're all fiber aficionados, but farmers of rare breeds have a real challenge. That is, you know, they love these breeds. They want to save these breeds for the historical importance and the genetic importance and all of that good stuff. But a lot of times it costs more money to do this work than they actually make off of the animals. And so that was very true for the sheep breeds on our conservation priority list. And we thought, well, let's give these sheep a job. Let's start marketing their wool, because their wool has very unique qualities, very different uses. You know, some breeds like the Navajo Churro or Shetland even, you can have two very different types of fiber coming off of those animals. And so you can make two very different types of products with their fiber. And so when industrialization happened, equipment needed, and you may hear this from fiber mills if you work with fiber mills, equipment needed to be standardized, and the fiber going into the equipment needed to be standardized. And so I'm sure you probably can all answer this question: what became the most popular and standardized wool breed in the US and across the world? Merino. And for many reasons, merino is soft and merino is white, so it's easy to dye into any color that you want. And unfortunately, a lot of these very unique and interesting breeds kind of got left to small farm holders, and mainstream agriculture kind of left them behind. The important things about these breeds to save them is because of the fact that some of them are better mothers. They have
to shave or something like that has to do with.
I'm gonna pause and ask whoever is whoever has their camera, their microphone on, to go ahead and mute that for me, if you would, please. Please. Okay, I think we might be good now. So they're a very, very important genetic resource. Even there are some of these breeds that actually don't even, you know, they don't pick up a lot of the diseases that the common industrial sheep got. They don't have problems with hoof rot. They don't have problems with parasites in the way that a lot of commercial breeds do. And so they're very helpful to keep around. And also because if we lose these commercial breeds, which were created from these old endangered breeds, we need some of those old genetics to recreate the breeds that we're using for everyday purposes. So that's our mission. That's pretty much the mission of Shave 'em to Save 'em, is to give these sheep a job. So the way that we did that is by creating this program that connects both fiber producers, and those are both farmers and fiber resellers. We connect those to fiber artists like yourselves. And the way that we do that is through an online Ravelry group, an online Facebook group, and this program that I don't know if any of you have actually joined the program and received a passport yet. Yay, Nancy, thank you. So every fiber artist that joins the program gets a passport, and the fiber providers receive stickers. And so on those stickers, fiber farmers or resellers, they fill out their farm name, the breed that they're selling, and then maybe what preparation they're selling. Are they selling raw wool? Are they selling yarn? Or something in between, roving or bat, that kind of thing. And then when a fiber artist makes a purchase from a fiber provider, along with their fiber comes the sticker. And then every passport has 23 pages in it with the breed's names. And so you take that sticker, say you bought Hog Island. You bought Hog Island yarn and you got a sticker for it. You slap that sticker on your Hog Island page in the passport. And then every time you do a project with that, you submit those photos to me. So you submit a photo of not only your project, but the passport page that shows that sticker. When you do 5, 10, and 15 projects, you get a prize. You get to actually choose the prize. We have a prize catalog on the Shave 'em to Save 'em website. And there's some neat stuff. Some folks have donated fleeces, or not fleeces, but 4-ounce packages of raw fleece. We've got some Southdown available right now. We had some Teeswater available previously from a donor. Different stuff is constantly coming in. And we have books. We have the Fleece and Fiber, the Field Guide to Fleece as a prize. We have some fiber wash sets from Unicorn Clean were donated. We have Shave 'em to Save 'em tote bags that are great for picking up, taking to the fiber festivals with you and picking up yarn. All kinds of good stuff. Discounts off of Ply Magazine subscriptions, and of course there's downloadable patterns too for different projects. So that's just fun. That's not really the point of participating in the program. The point of getting your passport is to explore these interesting breeds. And so I'm going to try from memory. I need to tell you why I'm doing this from memory. You weren't all on when I was explaining this to Mary and to Nancy, but I had some technical difficulties this morning in another Zoom meeting, and we've discovered through spending about an hour with my tech consultant that I am having a conflict. My computer is having a conflict with the camera and Google Drive, or having Google Chrome open. And of course, my presentation is saved in Google Drive, and I need to open Google to get to it. So I cannot open anything and share with you. So the breeds of sheep that are on this, see, my handy dandy assistant is gonna help me out here. Thank you, Brittany. And do me a favor, as I read off these names to me, go ahead, if you've got your camera on, or if you're not having your camera on, but you can use the little buttons at the bottom that give you the opportunity to raise your hand, go ahead and either raise your hand physically on camera or off camera, and let me know if you've heard of these breeds and if you've worked with these breeds. Go ahead and just, if you've heard of it, one hand; if you've worked with it, 2 hands, if you would. So Florida Cracker. Anybody work with? Yeah, okay. See some hands for Florida Cracker. Santa Cruz. I see some hands for Santa Cruz. Okay. Rommeldale CVM. Yay, yeah. Rommeldale CVM is a popular one, both because of the color and the softness. Rommeldale is great for next to skin. Now, as you probably know, if you've been working with fiber, especially raw wool for a while, any breed can be next to skin soft, or it can be really scratchy. A lot of that depends on how the nutrition of the sheep, of the line that the farmer is raising. Even among Shetlands, if we talk about Shetlands, there are 2 organizations that represent Shetland. There's NASA and there's the Fine Fleece Shetland, the 1927 Shetland. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting some feedback. Might be that I'm holding one computer too close to the other computer here. But even of Shetland, like, you can get some undercoat that is just baby soft, and then you can get some outer coat that is, you could make a jacket out of it, an outerwear piece with it that you wouldn't necessarily want to put right next to your skin. But Rommeldale is traditionally one of those that's always next to skin soft. Let's see, Gulf Coast or Gulf Coast native. Anybody work with that? Yeah, Mary. Okay, Elaine, Cheryl, Nancy, good. Okay. How about American Jacob? Yeah, Jacob is a very popular breed. It's become extremely popular in the Shave 'em to Save 'em group too. All right, so here's one you might not think of when you're thinking about fiber arts. Barbados blackbelly. So Barbados blackbelly is actually a hair sheep. It's a self-shedding hair sheep. It's not one that we think of when we think of wool. It does have an undercoat that will, if you're very patient and you're really determined, you can separate out the guard hairs from that little bit of underwool and do something with it. But the best thing to do is to felt. Barbados blackbelly actually felts really well. We have a member who has a farm in Virginia, and that's all he raises is Barbados blackbelly. And he supplies an artist in New York who does these fabulous felt pieces. I wish I could open the presentation and show you because they're amazing. And I never would have thought that a hair sheep could make such nice felt. Let's see what else. How about Hog Island? Anybody work with Hog Island before? Mary? Yeah? Lynn? Good. So Hog Island, I gotta tell you, it's one of my two favorites on this list. One, because I happen to love sheep more than I love fiber arts. And so Hog Islands, they're just adorable. Not everybody likes Hog Island because they're high in lanolin, but if you're somebody who likes to spin in the grease, that actually is a good way to go. They're just beautiful. They're gentle sheep, and they're at, let's see, where we have them? Mount Vernon. I think even Colonial Williamsburg might have some Hog Islands. They're a very important historical breed to the U.S. Several presidents have raised them. How about St. Croix? Anybody do anything with St. Croix? Yeah, Carrie? Okay, St. Croix is another hair breed. So very much like the Barbados blackbelly, you're going to have to be determined to get something workable at it, but it also will felt. And I had seen some people spin it who were, like I said, extremely determined. Navajo churro. Anybody work with Navajo churro? Yeah, that's another popular breed. And that's another breed that can go both ways. You can get a lamb fleece that is just fabulously soft that you could put on your grandchild or your child, something really soft next to skin. And then of course, they're very famous for their rug yarns. Caracal, American caracal, anybody work with that? Nancy, you've hit almost all of them. Caracal is a great breed, a little bit of a coarser breed, a little bit of a coarser fiber there, but wonderful to work with. And Tunis, this is my second favorite after the Hog Island. Yeah, oh, Carrie agrees. So is Nancy. These are also a very sweet sheep. Their fiber is fabulous, but they are, I mean, just looking at a flock of Tunis in a pasture just melts my heart. I mean, they are a gorgeous red-headed, red-legged breed. And their fiber is very nice, very nice. Kind of a medium grade. I wouldn't call it fine, I wouldn't call it coarse, but it's a really nice fiber to work with. All right, so all of those breeds are considered North American breeds. That means that no other country has a responsibility to save these breeds from extinction, and they're all endangered, which is why they're on our conservation priority list. So that's a lot. If you never thought about the fact that livestock could be endangered, that's a lot of breeds. Now, we've also got breeds that were imported before 1900, and these are the breeds from the UK. So Cotswold, any Cotswold workers? You guys are probably going to recognize more of these names. Oxford? No Oxford yet? Okay. And a lot of these are used for club lambs. They're used as a meat breed, but they also have really nice fiber. So Shropshire? Yeah, okay. Southdown? Mm-hmm. Okay. Lincoln Longwool? Yeah. And Horn Dorset. Okay, yeah. I'm going to speed through the rest of these here because I don't want to eat up our time going over the breeds, but we've got a few more, 6 more. So Teeswater, we already mentioned. Anybody working with Teeswater before? Okay.
The strongest guys.
If you would please mute yourself so we don't hear the background. How about Black Welsh Mountain? Carrie, you have also been busy, and Elaine. Okay. How about Clun Forest? Another breed from the UK. Okay, yeah. Shetland? I'm surprised all hands didn't go up for that one. Yeah, okay. Wiltshire Horn and Leicester Longwool. Okay. Leicester Longwool is practically the grandfather of all other sheep breeds. I don't know if you know a whole lot of history on the Leicester Longwool, but they're a UK breed originally, and their genetics have been used in so many different breeds that then maybe were used, their offspring were used to create other breeds. It's a very important genetic resource to hold on to, not to mention the fact that they have a fantastic fiber. So those are all 23 breeds in Shaven to Save 'Em. So the program itself, once you get your passport, once you sign up, you are asked, that's kind of the goal of the program, is to work with 15 of these 23 breeds. Now, we just recently decided that although I said you get prizes for submitting 5, 10, and 15 projects, we're actually going to give a high achiever prize as well. We're launching that this year. So anybody that finishes all 23 breeds will also get a prize. I'm not going to tell you what that is yet because we haven't announced it publicly, but know that that is also coming for you high achievers out there. So 15, not a big commitment. Of the 23, you only have to finish, actually you really only have to finish what you want to. This is your challenge. Once you decide to join Shave 'Em to Save 'Em, it's completely up to you how many projects you decide to go with. But the way that you do it, in order to have a qualifying project, is you buy about 4 ounces. So I'm kind of guessing that this is approximately a 4-ounce bag of raw fleece. Now yarn, I know that depends on how the yarn is spun and all of that kind of stuff, how much 4 ounces really is. But you can buy the fiber in any condition. You can buy it raw from a farmer, you can buy it washed, scoured. You can buy fiber that's been carded. You can buy fiber that's been turned into bat, into roving, into pencil roving, into Rolags, into poonies, whatever you like to work with and whatever you can find. You can also buy yarn. You can buy coarse spun yarn. But the way to have your project count is to take whatever you've purchased and take it to some other level of processing. So say you bought raw fleece and you wash it and maybe you dye it, or you wash it and you spin it. That yarn or that washed fiber or that dyed fiber then qualifies as your project. So I think a lot of folks have had a little confusion around projects, thinking that a project is like, oh, I have to make a sweater, I have to weave something, I have to make a hat or a scarf, or it's not that much that the program demands for you. What we want is for you to get your hands on the fiber and play with it. Just take 4 ounces of it and play with it and see what you think. Get to know a new fiber, get to know 15 or 23 new fibers. So the program itself for fiber artists costs $15 to join. And originally when we started the program, it was only going to be a 3-year program. We weren't really sure if it was going to take off, if folks were going to be interested. And we've had such an overwhelming response and interest, and we've got over 3,000 folks in the program right now. We have, I know, it's really exciting, Carrie. We have 7,000 people in our Facebook group. So a lot of lurkers that, they're curious, they're interested. Maybe they're actually quietly working through these breeds they're on themselves, on their own, but haven't actually paid for the passport. And that's fine, because our whole goal for this program was to help the farmers. And so if anybody is out there in that group buying or not in that group, buying fiber from these breeds, they're helping us help the farmers, which is really a wonderful, wonderful thing for these sheep breeds. So I'm going to show you, Brittany, my trusted assistant here, has brought up my presentation. I'm not going to be able to go through all of it because I actually have another presentation at 2 o'clock and I want to save time for Q&A for you guys. And this is going to be backwards, unfortunately. But this is our Shave 'Em to Save 'Em logo. So if you've seen that before or you see it again, know that that is our logo. And I just want to show you a couple of quick photos This is the passport right there in the center. Can you all see that? Okay. And there's probably, I can't count, but there's probably about 8 or 9 different types of hand spun yarn from the project, from Shave 'em to Save 'em. This is somebody's project there, or projects. So here's a close-up of the passport is a navy blue. And then the sticker is at the bottom. The sticker is what we send to fiber providers. And then of course there's a page, and I think that's the CVM Romaldale page. So that gives you an idea of what you get and what you work with. Do we have any farmers or fiber producers, fiber resellers in the group that might be interested in signing up as a fiber provider? Because I can talk a little bit about that as well if it interests anyone. Okay, don't see any hands going up. Oh, okay, so Carrie says somebody, Wendy Hansen, Shaggy Bear, has a lot of the breeds and stickers. Okay, yeah, so I will just touch on it quickly then, since somebody in the group, maybe not with us today, but so in order for someone, fiber reseller or farmer, to become an official fiber provider, they sign up through our website, they pay a $10 fee, and that $10 fee is renewable. Now for fiber artists, it's a one-time fee. You pay it once and you have all the time, you have the rest of your lives to work on these projects. But for the fiber providers, we do ask that they renew that every year. Now, the enrollment fee is actually included if they are Livestock Conservancy members. So we do have quite a few fiber providers who actually were Conservancy members before the program came out. And so for them, it's just free to enroll. Stickers are also free. So your $10 fee covers the cost of stickers. I'm looking to see if I have any photos in here that I want to show you. Most of these photos are pretty small. I will share some links just so that you can see that. Tell me if I'm close enough. Can you see it or no? It's probably backwards. You're all muted, so of course I can't hear you. Rarewool.org is how you would sign up for Shave 'em to Save 'em. So rarewool.org. And then there's also links on there for both our Facebook and our Ravelry groups. We have a group on Shave 'em to Save 'em group on Ravelry as well as Facebook.
Sandra, we can see them well.
Okay, great, thank you.
They're not backwards, they're the right way.
Oh, awesome. I don't know how that worked out, but yay. Sometimes we get pleasant surprises. So since the program has started, we've expanded it a little bit from what our original plans were. We started running these Woolly Wednesday chats. So once a month, usually it's the second Wednesday of the month, I host a Woolly Wednesday and I invite a guest to come and to talk to us about a different fiber related topic. And we've had folks from fiber, actually this month, we have a fiber mill chat, actually. Next month, we also have Clemis and Clemis, which is Roy Clemis. He is based out of California. They make all kinds of fiber prep tools. He will be chatting a little bit about fiber prep for us. Last month, we had a shearer, Emily Chamlin, on to talk about prepping for shearing day, and then talking about skirting fleeces and what fiber providers are looking for in their fleece. We've had chats from fiber authors like Sarah Anderson and Deborah Robeson. Let's see what else. Unicorn Clean, Melody gave a talk for us one month. So they're interesting, and I'm expanding more into the fiber prep talks this year. So you will see that they're going to progress from, okay, we're taking the wool off the sheep, and we're going to take it to the mill, and we're going to get it back from the mill. Or if we don't send it to the mill and we want to start to process it ourselves, these are kind of the steps we're going to take. Going to try, excuse me one second, I have a dog who's desperate to get out the door. That's why I sat in this chair.
Sandra, which Wednesdays are these?
So usually the second Wednesday. So a couple ways to find out about when they are. You can sign up for a monthly e-news. which goes out the first week of the month. And you can do that if you go to rarewool.org. You can kind of navigate to, I think it's is it Get Involved? Yeah. There's a Get Involved tab, and you can sign up for e-news right there. And so we'll send you every month, we'll tell you when the chats are. Like this month is sheep month. We do a species month every month. So this month I'm talking about sheep. This afternoon, actually, my next chat, I'm talking to the sheep extension specialist at the University of Maryland. And then later this month, we're going to be talking to the sheep extension specialist at the University of Idaho. So, but all of those announcements will come in e-news. The other way to find out when the Woolly Wednesdays are is either by joining the Shave 'em to Save 'em Facebook group or the Ravelry group, because we also post announcements there as well. And these chats, actually, the Woolly Wednesdays are hosted live on Facebook, but then they are all saved. They're archived on our YouTube channel, the Livestock Conservancy's YouTube channel. So if you miss the live chat, you can go find it later on, either in the Facebook page or our YouTube channel. The nice thing about watching it live is that you get to interact. You can ask questions. So that's always a nice thing to do. Some folks there's a lot of interesting questions that have come up, that some of which I never even would have thought of, but it's nice to have folks watching during the day when they can. Okay, so speaking of questions.
Cindra, Elaine is asking, as a Canadian, can she join? This is an international organization, isn't it?
The Livestock Conservancy is a national organization based here in the U.S. So anybody that lives in the U.S. can participate in Shave 'em to Save 'em. There have been requests for us to make it an international program. We would love to do it. Right now, we just can't do it. We don't have the staff, and there are financial restrictions on that as well. However, what we are permitting international folks to do is to participate in the Shave 'em to Save 'em mini challenges. And the mini challenges are, so the passport book itself is what we call Shave 'em to Save 'em. It's the big challenge. But then the other thing that I started offering last year were these mini challenges. And one of the ones we did back in the fall, we got together with Teresa from Bear Creek Felting, and she led a little needle felting workshop for us. And so we made these cute little sheep. This one's a CVM. This is my attempt. And then Deb Robeson, of course, you probably all know Deb's name. Deb's a very prominent, well-known fiber aficionado, teacher, author. So Deborah has led several fiber challenges for us. She led a sock challenge, a mitten challenge. She's currently leading a sweater challenge for us. And then Margaret Radcliffe, who's also a well-known fiber author and educator, she has led some challenges for us too. What did we do? We did a a shawl challenge with Margaret and a hat and scarf challenge with Margaret. So those are fun because you don't actually have to be enrolled in Shave 'em to Save 'em to participate in the challenge. So for anybody, yes, in Canada, I think in the sweater challenge right now, I think we have 4 or 5 people participating from Canada. So you are welcome to do that. And again, the way to find out about those challenges is to sign up for our e-news or join one of the social groups, either the Facebook group or the Ravelry group, because I announce all of those challenges both on Facebook and Ravelry. All right, hit me. What other questions do you have?
Cindra, I have one. Our guild has an annual challenge, and it's voluntary, whoever wants to participate. This year, our challenge is to try a fiber art that we've either not tried before or have not been very successful and want to try again.
Mm-hmm.
But so I have suggested that for next year, I encourage as many of our members as possible to join the Shave 'em to Save 'em, get their passports. But I was thinking to do a bulk order and maybe 3, 4, 5 different breeds that members could then try that fiber and support the organization and explore some of these breeds. Would you be able to help coordinate something like that? or am I on my own?
I think I could be helpful in the resource department because I can tell you right off the top of my head, if you're talking about bulk orders, what breeds you're going to be more successful at getting large quantities of fiber. Like CVM right off the bat, yeah. Shetland right off the bat, Jacob right off the bat, yeah. So, and then narrowing down those breeds, once you decide, you know, which 4 or 5 you're interested in using, I can think of farmers that are going to have a larger quantity of fiber that may or may not have already sent all of their fiber to the mill for the year. And of course, it depends on where along the processing chain you want to buy it. Do you want to buy it raw? Do you want to buy it carded, you know, in roving? Do you want to buy it finished in yarn? I doubt you guys want yarn, but yeah, depending on what you want. Carrie, what's your question there?
So actually, it's a comment. I started right off with the first year that you guys offered this program, and I also belong to another guild, the Central Oregon Spinners and Weavers Guild, in addition to this guild. And one of the things that I found most beneficial, and that's what I wanted to say thank you for, and this may be something that might help Nancy in her adventure to get fleeces, because this is something that we did here in Central Oregon, is using that list of heritage breeds, we started looking across Central Oregon. Lo and behold, we had a field trip to see at least a half a dozen of these breeds right here in Central Oregon. So initially we started off with supporting our local breeders, but more importantly, and they didn't necessarily, not all of them are part of Shave 'em to Save 'em, but they're raising the breed, which is the point that we wanted to support. But what I wanted to say thank you for is having that resource list of breeders across the U.S. provided an opportunity to reach out to folks that I didn't even know existed. The Tunis I got my hands on came from a little farm on the eastern end of Montana. I mean, who knew? So thank you.
You're very welcome. Yes, Carrie's referring to our online breeders directory, I think. And we also publish for members, we have a print directory that we mail out every year, in case you prefer having a paper version of that instead of a print online version. But yes, anybody who wants to be listed, any farmer who wants to be listed in that directory can be, if they're a member of the Livestock Conservancy, or they've enrolled in Shave 'em to Save 'em as a fiber provider. So you will find folks all over the country with fiber. And so Carrie, I completely agree with, you know, the whole local economy idea. If you can find the fiber close to you first, that's great, because yeah, you can get out on the farm, you can get to know the fiber, you can get to know the animals. It's really cool when you know the name of the fleece that you're working, you know, the name of the sheep that grew the fleece you're working with. I mean, it's just fun. If you're one of those people that likes to track all the details on your projects, knowing the farmer and knowing the name of the sheep is pretty cool. So yeah, you're very welcome. I can't take any credit for that, Carrie, but I agree. It's a really great resource. What other questions do we have?
I belong to another guild over on the Oregon coast, the Clatsop Weavers and Spinners. And how would I contact you to do the presentation to them?
Good question. Okay, so my email address, I'm going to put it here in chat for everybody.
Okay, great.
Because it's a funky spelling that not everybody gets. It's C. Kerscher, so it's CKERSCHER at livestockconservancy.org. Did I type it right? It looks right. And I'm also going to give you my phone number if you prefer that. 5407? Brittany?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry,
5407 is the office line. We've been out of the office for so long using our cell numbers, but I do pick up my voicemail. So You can reach me either of those ways, or you can also reach me through the Shave 'em to Save 'em Facebook group. You feel free to message me there. I am Cindra Kirscher on Facebook.
I've heard this a little bit before, but didn't know any of the details, and I just think it sounds absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, you know what, managing this program has been a lot of fun. And what has been the most fun is to see people's curiosity develop over time. When people think, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spin a couple different yarns, or I'm going to play with a couple of different things. But with this, so we're about a year and a half into offering these mini challenges. And the sweater challenge has been very fascinating to me because I ran a little mini poll in the challenge a week and a half ago. And I asked people, I said, is this your first sweater? Is this your second sweater? You know, have you lost track of how many sweaters you made? And it's really run the gamut. We have people in this challenge using rare wool that they have spun themselves, and they're new spinners, and they are making a sweater with their own hand spun for the first time. And then we have spinners who have been hand spinning for, you know, they learned from their grandma when they were a little girl, and they've been knitting or crocheting for decades. And so it's just really neat to see these two sections of the fiber arts universe come together in this little challenge and support each other and encourage each other and answer each other's questions. And it's just a lot of fun for me.
Cindra, you mentioned several times the breeders being part of the Livestock Conservancy. What is membership in the Livestock Conservancy? What are the fees and what are the benefits?
So membership starts at, a basic membership is $45. We do have a student membership, but that's an all electronic membership, and that's $25. But the basic membership is $45, and that gives you quarterly newsletters. It gets you our printed breeders directory, gets you our annual report. It gets you our e-news, of course, every month. Free listing in the breeders directory, both the print version and the online version. Oh, this is an important one for folks who are breeding or wanting to sell their fiber, is free listings in our Heritage Breeds Marketplace. So if you have fiber for sale, if you're a member, you can list it for free, photos and text description in our online marketplace. Technical support for your rare breeds enterprise. If you have rare breeds on your farm or you want to get involved in rare breeds, of course you have us as access to ask any questions, to give advice, to help you formulate a plan to get you started. Members receive discounts on educational events. So it used to be that we held in-person educational events and conferences, and your membership got you a discount in those events. We've converted all of that to online. So we're actually offering a lot of online programming and education that we either run live through our Facebook groups or Zoom, or we also archive that onto Teachable. And so you get discounts for those classes. As a member of the Livestock Conservancy, anyone has use of our Livestock Conservancy logo. So if they want to make a banner and go to a festival, you know, you can say, I'm a member of the Livestock Conservancy. And then, of course, the knowledge that you are supporting endangered breeds.
I first learned of the Livestock Conservancy. I was breeding shaggy Arabian horses, a rare breed, rare and endangered. And I went to a seminar with Dr. Sponenberg,
Yeah.
Sponenberg at the Kentucky Horse Park, and I learned so much. In just a one-day seminar, he just stuffed my head full of information and resources, and I was just so thrilled to hear that this organization was working to protect these very precious gene pools. So
they are very precious, and you can get out there. Like I said, some of these breeds are at, a lot of them actually are at living history museums throughout the country. So if you've ever gone to, you know, Conner Prairie in Indiana, or if you've ever gone to Mountain Vernon in Virginia, or I could rattle off a bunch of them in the Northeast. Plymouth Plantation. There are rare breeds, whether it's poultry, whether it's equines, whether it's cattle, sheep, hogs. All of these rare breeds are scattered throughout the country on different farms. And of course, a lot of farmers, when COVID is not such a scare to us, they welcome folks to come out. If you cruise through the breeders directory and you find a farm close to you that's got yarn or wool that you might be interested in, farmers love to talk about their animals. They love to show off what they're raising, especially if it's something endangered, because they're very proud of the fact that they're contributing to the longevity of this particular breed, sometimes multiple breeds. So yeah, feel free to reach out. And yes, Dr. Spangenberg is a treasure. He's so knowledgeable.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing about breeders is they know intimately the specific characteristics of their breed, whether it's wool quality or temperament or, anything. They're just a resource in themselves.
Exactly. I do see a couple of comments and questions in the chat here. Carrie said she ended up watching the sweater mini challenge. Is that the promo that we did about it, Carrie? Yeah, that was fun. Deb's a treasure too. I really enjoy working with Deborah. Carrie also asked, where can we get the flyers for Shave 'em to Save 'em? Is a PDF available? Yes. So on that rarewool.org, let me go ahead and put that in here for you too. www.rarewool.org. Just type in that in the chat for you. So that is our dedicated Shave 'em to Save 'em webpage. And then from there are sign-up links for becoming fiber artists, becoming a fiber provider, ordering stickers. Now she wants to come in. There is a link there to the online breeders directory so that you can look for fiber. There are links there to the Facebook and Ravelry groups, links to the pre-recorded challenges on Teachable. And yes, there are marketing materials there as well, Carrie. So you definitely can download the brochures.
Sindra sent me a handful of brochures a couple of years ago, and all the fiber fairs that I go to when I teach felting classes, I always have those brochures out and asking people to pay attention and give it a consideration.
Yeah, and definitely if you guys think you're interested in the program and you'd like some brochures, I can mail them out to you. Just email. I'm giving you my email address there. Pop me a line and tell me how many brochures you'd like, and I can ship them out for you. What other questions do we have before we wrap up?
I have another thank you to you guys. One of the benefits that I've seen from the program, gee, how long has it been going now?
Little over 3 years. Yep.
Okay, because one of the things that I've noticed with some of the yarn sources now is they are starting to identify the breed that the yarn is made from. And I think part of that, and we're finding that both from a weaving standpoint and a spinning standpoint, but I think the benefits there are collectively, folks have been saying, so is this Lincoln? Is this Shropshire? What is this? And we all know Merino, but this is getting some of the other breeds out there. So yeah, from a heritage breed standpoint and support, and this is the fun part, guys, go to their website, because the other cool part is chickens and pigs and cows. I didn't know there were that many heritage breeds. So thank you.
You're very welcome, Carrie. Thank you. Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff on the website that I didn't even mention because we have such a short time today. One of the things that's really important for me to mention are our new fiber profiles. So we received a grant from the Center for Craft out of Asheville, North Carolina last year, and we contracted with Deb Robeson to create a fiber profile for each of the 23 breeds. And those are available for free on that rarewool.org website. You can just look at them online, or you can download them and put them in your fiber book, whatever you want to do with them. They have photos of the breed, they have photos of the fiber, the locks. Some of them have actually photos of spun yarn or little swatches that Deb has made. And then of course she talks about best uses. She talks about handle, micron count, staple length, all that good stuff on those fiber profiles. We're really thrilled to have those. And we just released those like a month or two ago. Yeah, so they're relatively new to us, but they've been super popular. Carrie says she's already used them. Well, I have a 1:45, and I begin another presentation at 2. So if there aren't any other questions, I think that I better say thank you and encourage you all in your fiber pursuits, whatever they may be. I hope that you check out the website, rarewool.org, and maybe consider signing up for Shave 'em to Save 'em. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you, Sandra.